Now, I know you've probably seen a lot of videos talking about data, looking at competitors, blah, 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 reviews to revenue to this and that. And I'm here to tell you that that does matter. However, there's something that matters even more than that. Okay? Assuming that you're in a market where people are buying things. There, done. Okay? People sell things to customers. The customers come back to keep buying. Okay? If that's all the criteria and all the data that I had, I would have 4 things that I would be looking at in the market to determine how successful I was going to be. There's 4 things that matter to me, honestly, and this is how my brain works. It's how I think intuitively about selling on Amazon. And I just want to give that all away to you. So the first one would be, how does the customer feel when they see my product? This is the first interaction that you're ever going to have with a customer. And think about walking into a store. You're going to be naturally gravitating towards certain products and away from other products. And now, the ones that you gravitate towards will be probably similar to other people like you and different than people who aren't like you. And so if we're in a market where a lot of the customers are similar to each other, aka an enthusiast market, then the best thing that we can do is run tests beforehand about how to invoke a feeling of joy when they see your product. That's it. If someone feels immense joy when they see our product, they're probably likely going to click on it. Isn't that common sense, right? I mean, common sense isn't so simple or so common. I messed up even the common sense saying. Common sense isn't so simple. We'll go with that, okay? If I can invoke a feeling of joy when someone sees my product, it's likely that they're going to click. That's step 1. That's the most important thing to me in the beginning. That first interaction is just when someone sees it, let's figure out what that is. And now, what's a way that you wouldn't be able to do that? Okay, now if I were to sell an eraser, a classic private label product, maybe eraser and it comes with 4 markers. A way that I wouldn't invoke joy for them would be to make my main image look something like this. Those things next to each other. What would be a way that I could invoke joy for that same product? Again, this works everywhere. I'm trying to prove that this works everywhere. Okay, well maybe the erasers and the markers are still in the shot, but they're oriented a little bit differently. You'll notice if you look at an image of Apple presenting their AirPods, they're not sitting like this. They're sitting probably something like this and maybe coming out of the case, right? Horizontally, look like maybe they're floating in space. So creating movement is a good place to start. So I might have this leaning up against the box and have these look like they're rolling away or something, okay? And then now, since I have the box in the image, maybe I've created a canvas that I can work on. So I can quite literally create the box to maybe look like, what are they using this for? A whiteboard. Maybe the box looks like a whiteboard. What's on the whiteboard? Maybe there's some doodlings on the box, okay? So immediately, if I know that someone is simply trying to purchase a eraser and markers, I didn't plan that, by the way. This is just, again, every time you see a product, this is possible. To make a better impression, a more joyful impression on that customer than what the whole market is doing. So it's a way to set yourself aside. Okay, now let's say that you did that well. You understood that there was a group of customers that were similar to each other, are likely running away from a problem, need to get that problem solved with the product that they're buying. This is what I'm showing them. What do I do now? Okay, you said there's 4 things. Well, what does my customer feel? Again, notice I'm using the word feel, not think, not data. What does my customer feel when they land on my listing? It's one thing to get them in, but if I can't convince them to make the next step, which would be converting, purchasing, then it was in vain, right? The whole point of this is I want to make money, I want to sell products. Okay, so what does the customer feel when they're on my listing? Again, the average, standard thing that I can do is I can get a $300 Photoshop photographer to take a few white background pictures of my product and then superimpose it on all of these different situations in the hands of a teacher, in the hands of this and that. Well, what if instead I just took really high quality lifestyle photos and I created a great story with those photos? So I think of the process of what it's like to get my product, the problem that it's solving, and then move them through a story using this product. So what does my customer feel when they see my images? At the first step, all they have is a main image and a price and some reviews. That's all they can see. Now I get to pull them into my world a little bit more and actually go in depth about what it is that I just showed you here. So in a world where you told me I could not change the product, I had to sell the same product, then how am I going to sell more than my competitor? In that world, ideally you have the product changed too. Well, I just tell a better story, right? That's all that I have to do is tell a better story with my creative. My creative is my photography, anything that you can see visually, okay? Okay, say you do a good job there. What's the next thing that's going to elevate us to get us in front of more people and get us purchased more often? Well, higher social proof. So wouldn't it be true that we want continuous good reviews to make sure that that thing that just happened, the purchase, keeps happening? If they get it and they realize it's great packaging, great storytelling, but the product sucks, well then the whole thing after a few months will be done because you'll go down in your review rating, and then eventually it'll be so bad that your conversion rate will drop so much that it's no longer profitable to sell the product. It's happened to me before, I know. And so the next thing, part 3, parts really, but the third point that I'm trying to make, the third thing that I think is super important, how does the customer feel when they get my product? Okay? Do you see the trend here? We think we're so stuck as entrepreneurs and sellers in data and this and that. And like I said, it is important. You need to know your market and understand the percentages of people, but the data is only as good as what it's referring to. Data on paper means nothing if it's not referring to something back in the real world, okay? I actually just watched Oppenheimer, and great movie, by the way. And there's this quote in the movie, it really connected me. He said, theory can only take you so far. It's like, how sure are you you're not going to ignite the atmosphere? Close to 0% it's going to happen. Wouldn't it? And he was like, close to 0, I want to know that it's here. He said, theory can only take you so far. And that's the same is true out in the world of entrepreneurship. What I think, based on the numbers that I see, can take me so far. When I get out into the real world and the customer feels a certain way, they have my product in their hands, they see it compared to everything else in the market, that's when we find product market fit. That's when we find true success. When the customer gets it, I'm building this brand and this thing and this offering for them out of a place of, I want to invoke joy. I'm building it with joy and compassion so that when they get it, they feel the same way. And so thinking through when my customer opens the Amazon packaging and reaches inside, what is that experience like? I want it to be non-corporate, I want it to have personality, and I want it to have feelings, okay? No brown boxes. I heard some of the worst advice ever on a private label video a couple years ago. They said, don't worry about packaging. Packaging doesn't matter at all. Are you kidding me? Well, then what do you have if you don't have your packaging? Because packaging goes a lot further than just cardboard and plastic bags. Packaging is how you package your offer. And most of the time, it's one of your main factors that you get to play with to move a customer towards you. So yeah, it does matter. Horrible advice that packaging doesn't matter. Okay, and then once they feel a certain way and they open it, there's still a chance for a letdown. If the product sucks, then all of that was kind of almost worse than if it just came in a brown box. So lastly, we need to make sure that this fourth part is that after a week of use, or 3 days to 7 days of use, they're just as happy with the product. Now I get reviews on my product all the time that are like, I waited to post this review for a month, I waited to post this review for X amount of days, X amount of weeks and time to make sure that it really was good. And then they go into depth and saying, I love the product, I love the packaging, the story was amazing, and it truly does work great. I can prove that because I've had it for this much time now. And so if you can invoke a feeling of joy when they see you initially, and then they click, and then as they get to understand your story, it amplifies that joy they just felt. And then when they receive it, they're confirmed in their belief that they should have been joyful because it is in fact amazing. And then they tested and used the product, and it is in fact better than everything they've ever tried. Then you have just guaranteed yourself a successful physical product. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll see you in the next one. Later.